right, breaking news tonight in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. We're now learning there was another person, a 6th person, on the lease at the home where Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, and Xana Kernodle, I apologize, all lived at the off-campus house. 4 student Ethan Chapin was there visiting his girlfriend. Xana were killed. The more we learn, the more confused I become. So to help us sort through more of the sort of conflicting information, live from Moscow, Idaho, is NewsNation senior national correspondent Brian Entin, who's been all over this story. Brian, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. All right, so the Moscow police now confirming there was a 6th person on the lease. Why could that be important?
Yeah, this came as a surprise. I didn't see it coming. We knew, Dan, that there were 5 roommates. There are 6 bedrooms. We just assumed one of the bedrooms was maybe empty. Now they're saying there was a 6th person on the lease, but they're saying that person was not at the residence when the murders happened. Could possibly be important, could be someone who knows something, but at this point, they're not calling that person a suspect or anything like that.
All right, we're also getting a look at floor plans of the house. This is something that you have been talking about. You've been studying the floor plans a bit. Take us through this and why it's so important.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're trying to figure out what exactly happened inside and what the layout is. These floor plans, it's a 3-story house. First floor, you've got 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Not as important on the first floor, though, because we've learned that none of the victims were on the first floor. Second floor, which is sort of the main level, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. We know that there were victims killed on the second floor. And then third floor, 2 more bedrooms and a bathroom up there. And we know that victims were killed up on the 3rd floor. What we don't know, we've been trying to get the information from police, is who was in what room, what order the killings happened in. They're not releasing that information right now.
All right, and real quick, what's the latest on, they keep going back and forth on whether this was a, quote, targeted attack or not?
Yeah, super confusing. I'm glad you said you're confused, too, because I think everybody is. Initially, they said it was targeted. I interviewed the prosecutor earlier this week. He said that the victims were not targeted, but the residence was targeted. Yesterday, a new statement from police saying, wait a minute, we don't have any evidence that anyone was targeted. And now another statement today saying, no, it was targeted. We just don't know if it was the residents that was targeted or the victims that were targeted. None of it really makes any sense. It's really hard to follow. And at this point, you know, I've been covering it every day, and I don't even know what to make of it.
Brian Entin, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's bring in NewsNation's Ashleigh Banfield, whose show has been all over this story. All right, so Ashleigh, we're just talking about the mixed signals there. But without any sort of suspect, how would they even know if it was targeted or not?
Well, here's where the rub is, I think, for so many people. It's important if you live in that community or if you have your kids have been sent off to University of Idaho to know that this is not something that could affect them, that there was something else that had to do with that home or those people, and that's why it happened there. That's the message that went out. And then it has just been flipped on its ear, flipped back again, flipped on its ear again, contorted, and now it's extraordinarily frustrating. And I don't just mean for journalists, I mean for the people affected. And so why they continue to say, we can't tell you why, that part I understand. They say it's germane to the investigation. I know you are the same way, Dan. I have always respected police officers' work and investigators' work when they say they can't reveal, you know, work product. A, because it thwarts an investigation. B, it can thwart a prosecution. But the way they have manipulated and unmanipulated this particular important piece for the calmness of the community has been very troublesome.
Yeah. And again, I think unless they know more than they are suggesting, they wouldn't know if it was targeted or not. I mean, just based on what we know today, I don't know if it was targeted. I'm relying on them to tell us that they think that the residents or the people were targeted, et cetera. And I understand your point is a valid one, which the reason you want to say that is to assure the community that not everyone's at risk. But I don't even know how they would know that.
Thank you for watching.
Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.